Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by Merrill. Join one of the most iconic names in wealth management, Merrill. You'll be part of a dynamic team of advisors and specialists working hard every day to grow their clients' wealth. And with the support of best-in-class research, advanced digital tools, and the resources of a global institution, it's truly an opportunity you can be bullish about. Learn more at careers.bankofamerica.com. Copyright 2024, Bank of America Corporation.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the podcast. And I want to start out with an intriguing question. Mindfulness and meditation are often associated with calm and introspection, but how can these practices revolutionize the high-pressure world of sales and entrepreneurship? With that in mind, I've got a fantastic guest for you today, Aaron Hendon, coming out of Washington, and he's going to talk to us all about mindfulness and how mindfulness sales professionals can use it to enhance their productivity in their sales and boost their careers. Aaron, welcome.
Thanks, Christopher. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here. Sorry. I host my own podcast, so I'm used to saying, thanks for being here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, really. So start off by introducing yourself and we'll dive into the questions.
Sure. All right. You already said my name. I'm a bestselling author. I'm a real estate managing broker of a team of agents here in Seattle. I'm a mindfulness instructor. I'm a dad. I'm a husband, dog, and 2 cats. I live on an island. If I get fancy, I tell people I live on a small island in the Pacific. It's not totally accurate, but it's close enough for jazz. And I've been training people in getting unstuck and outside the realm of what they normally consider to be leadership for the last 30 years, something like that. So long history of training and developing people in their leadership and in their ability to be present in the moment.
Yeah, really fascinating. And so we'll dive right into the conversation. And what have really been interesting is, what is the relationship between mindfulness and the law of attraction as it applies to sales?
That's a great question. I love that question because first of all, you've got to at least come out of the woo-woo closet with that, right? You're now in the world of the law of attraction, which is great because first of all, there's a lot of salespeople, many salespeople that I've trained and I've been in relationship with and I've known for years, all work inside an acknowledgement that the law of attraction is a fundamental operating principle of the universe, that it's not woo for me, it's not woo for them. It's really, you get more of what you're vibrating out. You get what you're putting out. And so just from a sales perspective, that means if I go into this meeting with you, Christopher, if you're a prospect of mine in a sales situation and I need something from you, I'm going to be putting out those vibes, that vibration, needing something, I lack something there, and I'm just going to get more of that. That's what's going to happen. And any salesperson that's ever dealt with having commission breath knows this. This isn't something, it's not news to salespeople that commission breath is a real thing. And so just from that meta context, if I can walk into a sales meeting, pitch, conversation, sales where the moment where I meet someone at the point of buying or not, and who I am is mindful of my own state, and I am aware of the difference I'm out to make for them and who I am for them, and all the concerns I have about it are not using me. I'm not obsessed with them, but I'm actually present in the moment. Then they get to be present in the moment. And all their defenses and all the ways that you and I deal with salespeople, because every salesperson is also a prospect on someone's scale. We all know that we resist being pitched. We have our defenses up about stuff. And yeah, it's an opportunity for us to control what we're focusing on, what our attention's on, what our vibration is from a law of attraction perspective, so that we're walking into that sales meeting with a vibration of contribution, with a vibration of openness, with a vibration of a willingness to make a difference, contribute. That's what we get back. Now the prospect is going to give us back their opportunity to contribute. It's a completely different conversation than if I go in trying to need the sale.
Yeah. And one thing that I get quite frequently, and you can expand upon this, is one thing is that a lot of people complain about on the sales side is that why should he or she waste their time when the prospect isn't going to buy from them? And so why talk about what is wrong with this type of mindset?
How do you know they're not going to buy from you? Where does that come from? Why are they talking to you if they're not going to buy from you? I never talk to anyone who doesn't want to buy from me. People don't always buy from me, but if they're talking to me, I would be the worst person in the world for them to talk to if they didn't want to buy from me. They could talk to any of the other 7 billion people if they didn't want to buy from me, but they're not. They're talking to me. Where in the world would I even come up with they don't want to buy from me? You know what I'm saying? But that's a mindful practice. Where did that thought come from? They don't want to buy from me. And I'm not that interested in, my dad yelled at me when I didn't put the laundry in when I was 6. I don't mean where did that conversation come from a psychological perspective. I just mean, I'm making that up. I don't know that. The fact of the matter is they're talking to me. Maybe my job is to find out what they're even looking at, what their problem that you're trying to solve is. And then maybe I don't want to sell to them. Maybe I don't have a solution for them. Maybe my solution's not the best. Maybe I don't want them as a customer. We don't share values. I don't know yet. I don't know any of this yet. All I know is if they're talking to me, I would be the worst person for them to talk to if they didn't want to buy from me. I'm at least in the game of finding out, do they? And do I want to sell it to them?
Interesting. And a follow-up question I have for you is when from the customer side, they complain that sales agents are very aggressive or very pushy or very domineering. Are these signs and symptoms of a scarcity mentality, or is it inhibiting the law of attraction?
I can't say what each individual is doing. It could be scarcity, but for sure the mechanism is they're not listening. So the mechanism is what's going on. Now, they may not be listening because they're distracted by this thing, or because they think they have to get the script right, or they think whatever it is. But from the customer perspective, they're not being heard. Right? That's the experience when they have is they're aggressive or they're pushy, is this person's not listening to me. They're not hearing what I'm saying. They're just pushing their agenda. That's what the pushy is, right? They're pushing their agenda. So I don't know why they're pushing their agenda. It could be any of those things. It could be a million things. But the way out of it is, I could get curious. And from a law of attraction standpoint, from a manifesting standpoint, what that means is where you start is, all right, why am I talking to this person in the first place? Why am I talking to this person? From a law of attraction perspective, it's all going to come down to, because I think talking to this person is going to get me what I want. That's going to have me feel good. The end of the day of any law of attraction conversation, anything we're dealing with, that is, I want what I want because I think it's going to make me feel better. Anything you think you want it because it's going to be better than, and that's perfectly fine. Makes you feel good. Excellent. All right. So now I know where I need to start. I need to start with feeling good. I need to start with that feeling. I need to actually have that feeling of feeling good. And if I'm about to talk to you, Christopher, and you're a prospect for me, I need to walk in with some kind of feeling good about it. And inside that, if I'm feeling good and I know my job is to find out what problem you have that you are looking to get solved, and do I have a solution for it? And can I, do I want to work with you? Are you someone whose values I share enough to work with? And I think that's an important one, because I think people think they have to work with everybody. And I don't think that's true. I don't think you do need to work with everybody. And I think that creates, especially if you pick someone to work with that you don't like, then where are you going to be vibrationally with that? Where are you going to be in the world with that? Deal is going to go south. So you get to say, it's also super empowering to get to go, I don't know if this is an interview for them to you first as well. I don't know first, but at least as well. Huh? Yeah, I jive with this person. I feel good when I'm with this person. So I'm going to find out if you're someone I can feel good around. And do we have some kind of connection where we can build on that? And I have a solution that will make you feel good, which will make me feel like that. I don't even know if that's answered your question. That was a very long ramble about something that your question triggered, but I don't know if it actually answers it.
I do the idea of just not being heard. And for the audience, we're going to talk about how mindfulness helps sales pros close more deals while working with less effort and stress. So just stay tuned. But the question I have for you right now is, how does gratitude play into this law of attraction and mindfulness? And what are the mechanisms of activating the law of attraction with gratitude?
Depending on who you talk to inside the law of attraction, people that talk about that, gratitude is one of the highest vibrations, right? It's one of the places where our vibration is most connected to what we want. Mm. And you think about it, right? Gratitude is, I define gratitude for myself as the state or the feeling of when we are humbly appreciate something or someone as a gift. Mm-hmm. And when we're in the presence of the gift that someone or something is, and we are in the presence of having been granted this gift, and we're in that presence of that gratitude, if you get that vibration rolling, then the universe keeps bringing you more things that you are feeling that way for. That's a life. I'm down for that. Okay, get me more of that life. Get me more things that I'm grateful for. Fabulous. Let's roll. So that's the role of gratitude in manifestation, and the law of attraction is that's the place to start. Is are you already grateful, or what are you already grateful for? I got a lot more to say about that if you wanted to get into that side of things, but that's the answer to the question. That's the opportunity of gratitude and law of attraction is it's the longer and the more often you can sit in that vibration, in creating that vibration, the more that's what you attract. Mm-hmm. Can't be worried and grateful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah. What's the difference between mindfulness and meditation?
Meditation is a practice inside of mindfulness. You can do, it's a lot of people, again, close enough for jazz, people think of mindfulness as meditation and meditation as mindfulness, and they're not really the same thing. There are mindful practices that you have that are not sitting quietly with your eyes closed with incense burning cross-legged on the floor. Meditation itself has a really tight, stupid box that people think of it in, but mindfulness is bigger than that. I can just take 3 breaths before a meeting, and that's a mindful practice. Anything that brings us to the present moment intentionally, where we witness the present moment non-judgmentally, anything we do that intentionally has us be in this moment non-judgmentally is a mindful practice. Even a mindful practice of one of the most powerful mindful practices for salespeople, I find, is when I sit with a client, I say, what is it that you intend to get out of this meeting? Mm-hmm. I ask. I'm mindful about asking what their intention is so that I know where they're out to have this conversation go, because that's the kind of thing that's going to, without that, they're going to be left with, I was pushing my agenda. Yeah. But that brings us both present, because it has them into a position of, okay, what is my intention? And anytime we're being intentional in the moment, we're in the presence of the opportunity to be mindful. okay, what is my intention in this?
Yeah. Really insightful. I really like that. It's like the process. And round it out, talk about how you work with sales professionals to increase their sales, have better lives, be more efficient. How do you do that? And how can people find you and reach out to you and find out more about the work that you do?
Great. I work with either groups or groups. I really don't do one-on-one stuff. So a sales team, things like that, where we design for that team, depending on who they are and what their needs are, a specialized program. And it always involves meditation. So people shouldn't be like, just because meditation is such a potent tool, it's the free weight of weight resistance. It's the most accessible, easiest, it's a fabulous tool. And it provides a foundation, it gives you a strength in which all the other mindful practices that you do can grow. And virtually anyone can meditate. I don't care if people think that's not for me, because you haven't had a good teacher, I promise. Really, it's very rare that I meet someone who can't meditate.
Yeah.
So we design a program, usually 8, 10, 12-week program, where I work with the sales team inside getting grounded in what it takes to be present. The whole underpinning of the training, the whole thought that gives the training is two thoughts. One is every coach in the world, every sales coach I've ever heard in the world talks about the importance of mindset. Every single one of them talks about the power of mindset, and not one of them tells you how to get it. Yeah. And this is how to get it. So if you're already in the school of, that's right, I need to have a powerful mindset when I get on the phone or when I get out to the car lot or I know that I need, and all we have is hustle culture, make the contact bullshit, but and which is fine. You got to make the contacts. I'm not saying you don't have to make the contacts. What's bullshit about it is that no one talks about how you get an empowering mindset in the face of whatever you're dealing with. Not just the rejection that's inherent in sales, but like the stuff you're dealing with in your life. Our brains are wired for negativity. They just are. They're threat assessment devices. They are, right? So if we don't manage it, we're just going to be constantly looking at the threat. So how to get a powerful mindset. This is it. And then the other piece is, once you get that, all sales happen is in a conversation. All sales happen in a conversation. And if you're not listening, there's no conversation happening. And unless you are present, not worried, not thinking about yourself, not thinking about the future, not out there, but you're really present here now with no agenda, you're not listening. Mm-hmm. So we're going to train you on how to have a mindset that is resilient, that impacts every area of your life, and that's going to leave you in the present moment able to listen. And just that is a massive increase in people's performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they can reach out to me on aaronhendon.com. I have various things on aaronhendon.com.
Excellent. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing that, and keep up the great work.
Christopher, thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure, really fun.